MacDonald had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
And on that farm he had a
Cow.
E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here,
Moo here.
a moo-moo there. There, moo, there, moo, everywhere, moo, moo.
Daddy.
Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
All right, guys, welcome into the Ordinary Fantasy Pod. My name's Ben Conroy. I'm your host. With me, as always, Nathan Boudreau and my brother, Matt Conroy. Guys, welcome in Week 8. We are officially halfway through the season and on the other side, as they say. How you guys doing, man? How was your football weekend? Let's start with Matt. You go first, brother. How was your weekend?
Well, my fantasy weekend was great. Won in most of my leagues. Got beat by Nathan's wife in one of the leagues, so that was not great. After we helped her fix her team. Yes, that wasn't great. Bummed the 49ers lost, but yeah, fantasy-wise, good football. Loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, same as Matt. I had a really good fantasy weekend. I won in the main league. I won in many of my high-stakes leagues. Niners are really bumming me out. I am now 0-2 ever since I bought my Brock Purdy jersey. Starting to wonder if maybe it's a little bit of a curse. I hope not. Curses aren't real, but it is a little disappointing that every time I wear that jersey, the Niners lose.
You know, I didn't want to bring it up. I almost said something to you when you bought that jersey because I know you bought the Lance jersey. The Lance never made it. And then you went out and bought the Purdy jersey, and now Purdy's having problems. Starting to think you might be a little bit of a jinx. I know jinxes aren't real, but
If the delivery happens correctly, my Purdy jersey will be here on Saturday for the game. So keep wearing it, buddy.
Jinx.
We're gonna
look
turn
at
this
you
around.
doubling down.
I
Not
own-
even. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, I was
No,
just going to say.
I own a lot of 49ers jerseys, so obviously all those players aren't jinxed. All those players are still playing well. It's just the quarterbacks, for whatever reason. I just can't seem to get a jersey of a quarterback that can actually win a game.
Dude. I had to get this one. My lucky number's 13. It fit. I had to get this jersey. Yep, I was stoked.
Yeah.
Nathan, start rocking the Montana jersey. I know you got it. Just rock that one, and then we're safe. You know what I mean? And you got to worry about it.
Well, if you remember, I wore the Montana jersey. I wore the Montana jersey at the Super Bowl party at Ryan's house when they lost the Super Bowl, and I have not worn it since. That was the Super Bowl like 11 years ago against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I have not worn that jersey since. It's actually hanging in a frame on my wall now. So
the one
right
we can see right behind you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a jersey from that long ago wouldn't fit me either, buddy. So frame it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I always bought my jerseys really big. So no matter how fat I get, I'll still fit in them. So it's great. All right. Well, hey, I had a great fantasy weekend. I won in both my leagues, fantasy, dynasty, and the main league. And I was sweating it all the way to the end until, well, not all the way to the end. I was sweating it until Jordan Addison caught that 60-yard touchdown, which really hurt against our Niners, but help me win the week. So I can't.
You cheered that touchdown, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you cheer for that touchdown? You little bastard.
I did not cheer for that touchdown.
Yeah.
I did not cheer for it. I can't not cheer for it. It helped me win the week. It was a slight cheer. It was a golf clap.
It was literally the difference in the game. I mean, the Niners lost by 5. It was literally the difference in the game, and you cheered for it.
Yep.
I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole who won his fantasy week. And that's what we're here discussing. So, hey, what are you going to do? All right, guys, let's move it on. We had a not really big injuries this week. We had a couple injuries this week to talk about. We had Bijan Robinson. He sat out of the game with what we're finding out now is a headache. And let's talk about that a little. Nathan, I'll let you expand on that.
Yeah, he didn't actually sit out the game. That's the interesting part is from what we hear is there's actually an investigation going on now where the league is looking into why they didn't report ahead of time that there was an injury. He actually was suited up and he did get into the game.
Sorry, he didn't play for a lot of it.
Yeah, he didn't step on the field until like 2 minutes left in the first quarter. He didn't get his first carry until late in the fourth quarter. He ended up getting 3 yards, I believe. So he finished with 0.03. I know there's quite a few fantasy players and gamblers and people that bet on props that were very upset about this. It was all over Twitter. People aren't happy. There's a reason that the NFL has these rules about reporting injuries before the game. And clearly the Falcons were in violation of that rule, and I hope they get penalized.
Yeah, I've heard that there's actually some places that are that refunded parlay bets that had him involved, or prop bets that had him involved, depending on when you place them and stuff. So that was good.
Really?
Yeah, I heard DraftKings actually. Anybody that bet a prop on Bijan, DraftKings is refunding all of those.
That's very
If you bet the over.
surprising. No, I mean most places, you're like, "Fuck you, pay me." You know what I mean? Like it's always that's very surprising to me. And yeah, sorry, I misspoke. He didn't miss the game, but he might as well have. He might as well have sat out of the game because he didn't do much.
Yeah, we have him in our high stakes league, and we played him as our RB1, and we played Keontae Ingram as our RB2, another running back who was on the top of the depth chart, was the number one running back the week prior. Everybody expected him to at least get the lion's share of the carries this week, and he ended up with 0 points.
Zero touches.
In our high stakes league, 0 touches. We both of our running backs combined for 0.03.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah,
that is.
We still
rough.
won though.
You still won. All right, there you go. Matt, talk about Dijon. I did it again. I did that.
I got it.
I did that
Watson.
Pre-show. I did that pre-show, and I did it again now. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. So 5 passes, 2 interceptions. I know one got overturned, but they looked terrible. They were way overthrown or underthrown. The injury though that took him out was he slammed the back of his head against the ground, took him out, said he was in concussion protocol, immediately passed it, stayed on the sideline. Now, the coach said it was his call, said they had a better shot winning with PJ Walker. Now, what I saw when I saw the hit happen and him coming off the field, I saw his right arm like hanging, like limp. Like he looked like he had a shoulder injury that maybe he re-aggravated or something. Because I think what the injury is a couple little tears inside the rotator cuff, if I remember the description correctly. So now did it just hurt because he got slammed down? Did it cause more injury? Did they see something in the medical tent with the shoulder and just blamed it on the head? We don't know that yet. But man, he looked bad when he did play. So I don't know how to take.
I think that's all
really.
It was. I don't think he re-injured himself. I think what happened was that they saw him throw in live game action and said he's not ready to return yet. And
it
they
could be that
got
simple.
saved by the fact that they got saved by the fact that he went into the concussion protocol, and then the other quarterback looked okay. He was performing at a replacement level performance, and they felt like they didn't need to rush Deshaun Watson back in. I wouldn't be surprised if Watson ended up going on the IR and missing significant time at this point.
Who's is that PJ Walker?
PJ Walker.
Yeah, playing backup for him. Yeah, he's actually played 2 decent games. The game before that, and then coming into this game to play in for Watson. And then let's talk about our the major injury of the week, guys. This is the biggest injury of everything. The 49ers' hearts of their fans, guys, are broken. Just snapped in 2. Just snapped.
Yeah. I was telling Matt while you were offline, Ben, that this is really bad timing because we have a game coming up against Cincinnati next week, and Cincinnati, although they haven't looked great this year, they need a win. They started the season rough as well, and they're coming off a bye, so they might have figured things out on this bye week. The Niners have a tough challenge ahead of them, and if they lose this week, we're going to be going into our bye on an 0-3 streak, which would not be good. So let's hope they can figure it out and get a win this week.
Yeah. Yep. We need it bad. We're just coming. This is the second game we've had to try and play from behind, and we don't do that well. And we need to figure that out because, I'm sure at some point the rest of the season we're going to be playing from behind again. If we keep it up. So, all right, guys, let's move it on to our main league trade that happened this week. Nate traded Josh Reynolds and Zach Moss for Isaiah. What is wrong with me? Isaiah Pacheco, and well, he tried to, anyways. And then there was a counter offer for the same trade. Sean traded AJ Brown and Westbrook for Pacheco and T. Higgins. And I don't know, you guys want to expand on that real quick?
Yeah,
What do you think,
I
Matt?
mean, fair trade. I'm glad it got countered. Yeah, I like second trade's fine. Everything's fair about it. I don't know that anybody really wanted probably the Pacheco T Higgins side, but T Higgins has been so bad. So yeah, I think it's a straight up fair trade.
Yeah, I don't see how anybody could think the Pacheco T Higgins side won. I know what Sean was trying to do. He's trying to diversify a little bit. He felt like maybe he was a little too top heavy, so he wanted to add some more pieces. And you're right, T Higgins has been horrible this year, but that doesn't mean he's going to stay being horrible. He can turn it around at any moment. The whole team could. But I don't see how anybody can justify trading a superstar like AJ Brown. I mean, he's having the best year of his career. He is on another level right now. He's number 3 uh, amongst not just wide receivers, but all flex eligible players, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. He's number 3 in fantasy points. I would like to get a better haul if I was trading AJ Brown. I would really want to get more than Pacheco and T Higgins, to be honest with you. So I understand Sean's point and why he did it, but I don't like the deal for him. And if I was in his shoes, I don't think I could have pulled the trigger on that. That's just too much to give for what he got back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was very surprised to see him trade AJ Brown. To be honest, and I definitely didn't like the T Higgins side of it. Pacheco's been playing okay. He's been playing decent. He's he's a I don't know if is he a top 10 running back this year? I think he is, right? He's in the top 10, top 5.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's top
No,
5.
I
But
mean he's having a decent year, but he's not that high up.
he's
Yeah.
top 10.
Amongst
I
running
would think
backs?
he's top 10.
Yeah, he might be top 10. Definitely
Yeah.
not top 5 though.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
And we can look at it, but
but yeah, I was a little
Pacheco-
surprised.
So if AJ Brown regresses to the mean, I mean, this is better than he's ever played before, and Devontae Smith starts getting more touches, more looks, more catches. AJ Brown could come back down to earth and just have a normal year like he did last year, which is still a great year. Pacheco's having a great season, and if T Higgins goes back to hit the norm, I think Pacheco and T Higgins outscore the combo of Brown and Westbrook. Now, is Westbrook even going to be played? Who knows? But yeah, I think total points, the Pacheco T Higgins side will be more at the end of the season.
If they
Pacheco is number 12 in points per game amongst running backs.
Okay.
Number
So
12 in points per
Right
game.
up.
So he is an RB1.
Yeah.
But he's not traditionally a great pass catcher, although they have been getting him more involved in the
Yeah.
passing lately.
Yeah.
And he's part of a 3-headed running back situation there. They're still giving a lot of carries to CEH and to McKinnon. And so is he on a trajectory to become an RB1 the rest of the season, or did he just have a hot streak? That's remains to be seen. And by the way, one thing I want to say about my trade that I made initially to Josh, I was as shocked as anybody else. I didn't think Josh was going to accept that. I sent it to him just silently, and he just accepted it. And I'm like, wow, okay, that works. I agree. The trade was in my favor all the way. And I saw why everybody was like, oh my God, that's lopsided, right?
Yeah.
And I also see Josh's side. Reynolds and Moss have both put up a ton of points. Maybe he's just looking at the points and not watching the games, or he doesn't know all the situations behind it. And so he just looks at it and goes, oh, wow, these guys are scoring a lot. But one thing that's to be said about this is that the rule that we have, the new trade rule, it's good and it's bad. I'm still a proponent of it. I think it's great. I love the fact that it gets everybody involved.
Mhm.
One thing that it does, though, is it gives sort of a crutch to some of the passive traders in our league, and it allows them to kind of sit back and wait to see who's available before they make any offers, right?
Mm.
Like you have a couple of guys in the league like me and Matt and Bobby and maybe one or two others that are more aggressive, and we're often sending out offers. And part of that is we do our homework. We go onto everybody's roster and we see what do they have, what do they need. I went to Josh's team and saw that he had a really bad bye week. He was missing some of his wide receivers. And I saw that he's deep at running back, and he has 4 of them, and he can only start 3. So I thought, there's an opportunity for me. Now, in years past, I can exploit that opportunity by making a trade that helps Josh during his bye weeks. I get the running back that I desire. Now it sort of gives everybody else that's been passive, oh, Pacheco's on the block? Great. And they don't have to do any homework. They can just jump in and swipe them. So it's a double-edged sword, but overall, I think it's a good rule.
Yeah, I did know. I mean, I said it before. I'll say it again.
It's a long explanation to say you like the rule, man. I like it. All right.
That's funny. That warm blanket feels great.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. I love it. I love this rule.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like I said before, the AJ Brown just surprised me, just because I feel like I said it last week, I said it again, man. He's the only one. Seems like he's the only one catching balls on that team right now. All right, let's move it on to the practice squad.
Go ahead and take it, Nate.
Nate, this is something
Yeah,
that
well,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
we wanted to run a little PSA here because we don't know with 100% certainty whether the mistakes that have happened this year are um, just honest mistakes, or if there's confusion about the rule, or what the case might be. We do know that there was a new rule in place with this year. We do know that it got passed pretty unanimously. We talked about it in the thread. People voted on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or two guys didn't read it. In fact, I think Ben, before we started recording, you even said that you didn't know we could put injured players in the practice squad. So
I did not know
we just
that.
want to we want to clear up the rule because there have been 3 violations already this year. We had Matt lose Jamison Williams. We had Bobby lose Jamal Williams. Both of those were guys that were on the IR, and then they came off the IR, and they just didn't get activated right on time, so they had to get cut. And now Alex, he put DeAndre Hopkins in his practice squad during a bye week, which that's been a rule for as long as we've had injured reserve. You can't put players down there just during their bye week. So I don't know if there was a little bit of confusion, but let's just clear it up. The practice squad, 3 players deep. You can use it as a flex for either rookies that you acquired this year and have never started. So once you start them one time in your starting lineup, they can't go back to your practice squad. But if it's a rookie you got this year before the week 1 and you have not started them, you can carry them in your practice squad. Or injured players. Injured means out, not playing this week. Now, if a guy stubs his toe at the end of last week and then he's on a bye this week, he's not an injured player, right? He was active last week. He's on a bye this week. You can't stick him in your practice squad. And that's been a rule for, like we said, as long as it goes back. So if people put players in their practice squad that are not eligible for the practice squad and somebody else catches it, then there's going to be an immediate drop. And so we're still waiting for Alex to drop Hopkins. I trust that he'll do that today. If not, I'll go ahead and do it tonight to make sure that he's available on waivers tomorrow.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Perfect.
Somebody just lucked out. Whoever's got that number 1 waiver priority.
Not hugely.
Yeah.
He's not having a great season.
Well,
But
no,
yes,
but
it's a quality wide receiver, definitely.
it's a receiver, and I remember somebody, I think Nathan was saying, or somebody said you guys earlier that he might be on the trading block soon, maybe. So he might be going to another team. So he might be worth something down the road.
Yeah, the Titans have said that everybody on their team is available for trade. So whether that, I know that they've been having difficulty trading Henry because of his contract. I'm not sure what Hopkins' contract is. But yeah, if somebody comes out and grabs Hopkins from the Titans and he goes to a team that needs a receiver and has a good quarterback, yeah, that could be a steal on the waiver wire for somebody.
Or
maybe
it could
Justin.
be a
I
stash,
think he has the number 1 priority.
It could be a stash and switch situation, right? You take him, you stash him. If he does get, if he does get put on a new team, then you throw him out there for a trade, right? You could switch him out maybe if you don't need him. All right. Well,
didn't that happen to you a couple years ago, Ben? Who did you lose because you left him in your injured reserve? It was a big player. Was it Mahomes? And then Bobby traded him back to you?
It was Mahomes. Yes. Yes. It was Mahomes. Yeah. I forgot. And I didn't even get a chance
you gave
to
Bobby a haul.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well, thanks for the PSA, Nate, on that. The practice squads, guys, you know what they're for. Use them correctly. And there you go. All right, let's move it on to our Can We Fix It? He can fix it. Can y'all fix it? We can fix it. Can you fix it? That's my new theme song for this right here.
I like it.
Yeah. So this week we got a Ryan video sent to us. He wants some help on his team from the experts right here, Matt and Nathan. Let's see if we can fix it for him, guys. Here's the video right here.
We need a quarterback this week, fellas. Pick one up off the waiver wire for me. Thank you.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Can you fix it?
I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
All right. So he wants a quarterback. Waiver wire is pretty thin. If he needs it for this week, Badgin's probably the guy. Maybe Zach Wilson. I don't know if Garoppolo is going to be back or not. And he's a Monday night play. So that if we don't know that early, we won't be able to use him. If we're talking season wide, you can look at Daniel Jones, Marvin, that other Jones guy from the Patriots, Um,
The
but
Patriots.
Mac Jones.
Oh,
He's
Mac
up.
Jones.
Mac Jones. The other Jones.
Like,
Oh,
Corporate.
the
yeah, I
other
was like
Jones.
blanking. I was like,
Yeah,
what the hell is he
me
talking
too. I
about?
could not think of his name, dude.
Yeah.
I kept going with Marvin Jones because he just what took time away from the team today for a family emergency. That was in my head.
Yeah.
So I think I would go with Wilson, Garoppolo, Daniel Jones, probably.
No, Will Levis.
Yeah. Here's
Maybe.
my advice to Ryan. I know he specifically in his video said, "Tell me who to pick up off the waiver wire." But the segment is called "Can We Fix It?" And our goal should be to not just put a band-aid on the situation, but to fix the situation, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
Ryan's a contending team. He's got a winning record. He's 4-3. We just talked about how Deshaun Watson is most likely going to be out for maybe up to 4 weeks. He's going to go on the IR, and who knows what he's going to look like when he comes back. I think Ryan needs to go out and make a trade. I don't think finding some guy on the waiver wire and crossing your fingers that he pops this week. Yeah, maybe you'll get a couple of good weeks, you'll get a couple of bad weeks, but Ryan's got the pieces that he can make a trade. He did a really good job this year in drafting a lot of depth at running back. Now, one of his running backs is hurt. David Montgomery is not going to be back for a few weeks, so that makes it a little bit more challenging. But he's got Jaleel McLaughlin on his bench. Could he dangle McLaughlin and get somebody's bench quarterback? Maybe a Jordan Love from Steve, for example. Steve needs a running back. Or if he wants a better quarterback, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs just had his first good game. Maybe you dangle Gibbs, right? Right now, Ryan's starting Hall, Cook, and Gibbs, so he could afford to deal one of those guys and wait for Montgomery to come back, and he could probably get a really good quarterback. Running back is pretty shallow in this league. There's a lot of guys that are hurting, especially during the bye weeks. Right now is the time for Ryan to make a big swing at it and go and make a trade. And by the way, I don't have any quarterbacks to trade for him, so this is not a biased opinion.
Yeah, the one part about that I would warn against. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is great. He had a great game. But they want David Montgomery to be the heavy workload there when he gets back. So, yeah, Ryan, trade him off a big week. But if you're buying him, don't think he's going to produce like this every week. He's not going to get this many touches every week. It's going to be a 12-touch guy. They're going to be amazing touches, and he's going to be very valuable. But he's not going to be their workhorse for sure.
How long is? I mean, ribs, man. Ribs are a tricky thing, though. Ribs could keep Montgomery out for a couple weeks or more.
Or he could be back next week.
He could be.
It's pain tolerance.
They were saying 3 weeks. So. When he first went out, they were saying about a 3-week injury. He could be back in 2 weeks even. But yeah, Matt makes a great point. Buyer beware with Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's all the more reason why now's the time to strike while the iron is hot. He just had a big week. He was a high price rookie that everybody was hyping up in the offseason. Now's the time. Dangle Gibbs and go out there and get yourself a stud quarterback, Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the pieces, like you said. He's got those running backs available. I just don't know which one I would want. I mean, James Cook. I don't know which one. Which one do you guys favor out of his?
Well, like Jahmyr Gibbs is going to bring the most value, I think, is what we're talking about.
Okay.
But,
yeah, trading Gibbs is the smartest move for him. I wouldn't, if I was him, I would not trade Breece Hall or David Montgomery for a quarterback.
No.
If it's not going to be Gibbs, then it should be either Cook or McLaughlin. But you're not going to get as much for those guys.
I'm
best
actually
you're going to hope for is, like I said, maybe a QB2.
Yeah, no, you're right. What you said about Cook, Latavius Murray is getting a lot more play. He's getting a lot more looks in the red zone. I think Cook is going to be losing value as the season goes on. Well, Latavius Murray is getting value as the season goes on. So, Yep.
Yeah, that's why I guess that's why I was asking, because you said buyer beware on Gibbs. So if there was another option of his running backs that you would rather go for, if you're not happy about Gibbs, is what I was trying to get at. All right. Well, I guess that was it, Ryan. Hopefully we fixed it for you. And you can move forward with that and trying to make those trades. All right, let's move it on to our Round the League recap. And we got a lot to talk about in this section, guys, so stick with us. Matt, take it away for us.
Yeah, another fun week in the Guillotine League. Steve's second team, Damn Fun Bitch, got knocked out with 52.34 points, the lowest total of the season. And he left, if I have my numbers right, I think he only had $51 left on that team. So he spent his money, he used it, but it just didn't work out. Available, the guys that he left for us to play with, is Tua, Bijan, Ayuk, Laporta, Pollard, and Henry. Great pieces to go pick up. Bobby has the most fab left in this league with 742. He's also averaging the most points per game. So Bobby is the team to beat, and he has the money to go buy whoever he wants as they come up. So Bobby, coming for you, buddy.
That's how it was for me last year in this league. I didn't have to spend any money because I was scoring so many damn points. I never had to replace anybody until the very end, and then it allowed me to pick up some guys. Not that I wanted or anything, but still, I was in that same situation.
Yep. All right, so over in the side league, Jeff doubled his win total this week, got up to 2. But he also did it with a high score, so good job, Jeff. Portia took me out after we gave her good advice last week to fix her team. Sean is still at the top of the rankings at 5-2. Interesting thing about that league is everybody that won 2 weeks ago lost this week, and vice versa. Nobody's either won or lost more than one game in a row. So it just shows that it's really tight there. So it's still wide open for everybody to win because even last place is only 3 games out of the top. So wide open league. A lot of fun.
More than that, it wasn't just the teams that lost last week, but every team that had a winning record, every team lost this week.
Yep.
And except for one, every team that had a losing record except for Megan won this week. So it's like it all just got crunched into the middle. It's nice. It's nice to see. Everybody's like either 4-3 and 3-4.
Yeah, that's fun. That's
awesome.
All right, so moving over to Dynasty, and I got to say, I hate the team name for my division, the Meh division. I just don't like it. We need something better. But that division sucks. Nobody in it has a winning record. That's terrible. Dre is handling business in the loser division as the only member with a winning record. And Justin looks like a fraud as the only person in the winning division with a losing record. So once again, very top heavy in that league. A lot of people at the bottom. It's looking pretty much exactly the same as it did last year. But good job to you guys who are winning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now we can move on to the main league where Dre sits top of Arizona Bay with a 7-0 record. Alex is in second place with a 6-1 record. While Ben sits atop the Saddle Creek division with a 5-2 record, tied with me.
That's right.
I am really glad that I get to play you one more time this season, Ben, to straighten that record out. But that'll be the last game of the division, last game of the season. That's going to be epic. That's going to be good stuff.
Coming off my horrible bye week, baby, you're in trouble, buddy. You're in trouble.
All right, so starting this week, we do the flip flop and we start playing our opposite division opponents. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The Saddle Creek division has 5 teams with the winning record, but have only scored 6,642 points, while Arizona Bay only has 2 teams with the winning record, but have outscored the other division, scoring 6,835 points.
Ooh.
So we'll see how this tightens up as we go forward. If the playoffs started today, Dre and Ben would have the buys at 1 and 2. Matt and Ryan would be at 4 and 5 accordingly, and Alex and Jeff would play the 3 and 6 seed accordingly. Wraps up.
That's interesting, Matt. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to comment on the records. I didn't realize that we had just played our division the first 7 weeks, but that makes sense. That's how we used to do it when we had 3 divisions. So you're saying that the division that has the least wins has the most points scored? Is that right?
Yeah, the division that has, Alex and Dre is the only 2 guys with winning records. They do have the most points, which makes sense because Alex has outscored everybody.
Yeah, and it's a very top-heavy division, so it'll be interesting to see when we get into the other division how we stack up against that division. We've been getting pummeled by Alex and Dre all this time. Now we get to take some of those points over to you guys.
But you also got to play 4 other guys with losing records, and you still didn't get you guys winning records. So that's still interesting. And then, hey Nate, can you give us a quick rundown on the high stakes league? I know we're doing pretty good, but break it down.
Yeah, we are in some ways. I mean, so we have a 6-1 record, and we're in first place as far as record is concerned. That's great. Nobody else even has more than 4 wins, so we have a 2-game cushion on the rest of the league. That's the good news. The bad news is that we've had a lot of injuries. We've been missing some running backs. We lost Kyron Williams and a couple others. And so it's not just a record that matters. You need points in this league because once you get to the playoffs, what they do is they take your average weekly score and they combine that so in week 15, your first week of the playoffs, you get your week 15 points plus your average points for the whole season. So scoring points matters in this league in order to do well in the playoffs. And so we're going to have to find some replacements to continue to compete. But I'm happy with the 6-1 record in a league full of pros. It's nice.
That's cool. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, we'll take it on.
Uh,
You got something quick to talk about as far as mid-season updates with degenerate bets. Talk about it.
Yeah, I wanted to just give an update. We've got quite a few bets, at least 10 of them, and we are at the midway point. So I wanted to kind of give an update. Most of these are unsettled, but it's good to see where we're at right now, so we can see are you on pace to win some money or lose some money. Ben, you are only involved in one of those bets. It's a $10 bet you made that Kincaid would be a top 10 tight end. He's
Big
currently
money.
the 20th tight end, currently 20th. But the good news for you, not so much for Dawson Knox, is that Dawson Knox just went on the IR, which means Kincaid should be playing more moving forward. And so
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see if he can crawl his way up into that top 10 for you. Joe and Justin have a bet with me, and actually Jake is somehow involved in this bet too. I think they covered, or no, not Jake, your son Ben.
Yeah.
Frankie's involved in this. Yeah, Frankie's involved in this. So it's 120 each. That the Lions will have a better season than the 49ers. Both teams are tied right now at 5-2, so no winner there so far. Matt, you and I have a bet, $100 that you're going to win a trophy before Jeff, and you're certainly on track to do that this year. You've been one of the top teams this year, but Jeff's right on your heels. You're 5-2, he's 4-3, so we'll see how that goes. Bobby has a $100 bet with me that he's going to score more points than me. That bet looked good when I had a lot of injuries, but right now I am leading Bobby 993 to 950. So I've got a little bit of lead on him there. Bobby and I also have a $100 bet that he's going to last longer than me. We're pretty close. He's 2-5.
There were so many jokes on that one, dude.
Last longer in bed. Last longer. Who's gonna? It's you guys know the game Soggy Biscuit?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Now you're giving away my challenge for him this week. But, last longer and into the playoffs. I think we're probably we both probably have a lot of work to do to even make the playoffs. So we'll see if that even is a relevant bet. Joe and I have a $100 bet that he has Watson and Pickens, and they have to outscore Judy and Amon-Ra. And thanks to the Sun God being by far the best player in that four, I'm kicking his ass 181 to 125. So he's going to need to pick up the pace there to win that $100. Joe and I also have another $100 bet that he'll have a better playoff seed than me. Joe's currently 2-5. So I don't know if he's going to have a playoff seed. I don't know if I'm going to have a playoff seed, but it may be a pointless bet there as
you're
well.
only one game better than him right now, right? You're
only one game better than him.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
But the bet is who's going to have a better playoff seed. If neither one of us make the playoffs, it's a null bet. Ryan, this is the one bet on this list that's already been won. Before the season, before Cup's injury, right after the draft, Ryan made a $100 bet that he was going to get 2 wins before I get 2 wins. This is part of our conversation when we trashed his team after the draft. He says, I'll get my first 2 wins before you get your first 2. And he started the season 2-0. I started the season 0-2. So Ryan won that bet right off the bat. So I owe him $100. That'll be added to his degenerate bank. And the last 2 bets, force bets. Matt, you and I are square at 0. And Justin owes me $40 so far on the force bets. And then on the lifetime bet, I'm 100 up on Justin right now. I've got the lead on him also for total points, which means that unless he overcomes me there, that'll be an additional 300 right there. So I'm leading in both of those bets. And that's your mid-season recap of all the degenerate bets.
Nice. You bunch of degenerates. How many of those are your bet, Nate? Did we count those?
Quite a few.
One.
A couple.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least I'd say over half, I think, are Nate's.
But that's not surprising at all. Like, there's nothing surprising about that. What's surprising is how much Bobby bet this year. It started like a year ago, and it was really fun to watch. But this summer, he was all about it. So thank you, Bobby. Thanks for joining the club, buddy.
No, it's great. I love it. We've officially turned Bobby into a degenerate. He was not a degenerate before. Now he officially is.
Yep. It's awesome.
And I even got in on the betting this year. Check me out. Woo woo!
You got your $10 bet.
$10.
It's in, baby. Yeah, whatever. I just wanted some action. I want some action. I want to feel like I'm in on it.
If you want to double nothing that one, I'll give it to you.
Not yet. Let's see how he does that. Let's see how he does after 1 week of starting. All right, guys, here we are with our high score of the week this week. Justin Hammer, Ball Ping, as we like to call him around here. Good, man. Good to see you, bro. I'm a little disappointed you're not in a fancy suit this week, but welcome in, man.
I am just as surprised as you all are to see me here at this current set.
Seems like it was just a couple weeks ago you were here for the low score of the week, and I was talking trash and saying bad things. Is that true or not?
I have not been on the low score this year yet. I
Oh,
know.
it wasn't
You
you.
haven't?
I'm
Oh,
surprised
I
that
thought it
that
was.
all.
I thought I thought it was. Oh, it was Adam that was here, the other Hammer brother. Okay,
No,
I was confusing the two. But well,
no,
hey man, you got to. Sorry, go ahead.
it's my first appearance, believe it or not, and all I had to do is lose like 3 starters for the season in order to do it. So here I am.
Nice.
You
Isn't
had
that
a
the way
big.
it always works, though?
Yeah.
That's I think the Bill Simmons calls that the Ewing theory. That when a team loses their best player, when the Knicks lost Patrick Ewing, they all of a sudden went on a run. And then there's a bunch of, ever since he coined that phrase, there's a bunch of examples of teams losing their best players, and then all of a sudden it makes them better for whatever reason. So
That
congratulations.
appears to be exact. There's also this theory I heard about that I actually tried this week. I don't even know if I want to give it to anybody, but in if you don't watch, they do well. If you don't watch your players, then they do well. Like a watched pot never boils type of theory. It's the same thing. So I was at a big poker game on Sunday, and we didn't have any TVs in there. I didn't watch a lot of the games, and then everyone just took off. So it's going to be
Yeah,
tough to try it again next week.
you had big games. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually think that you should edit that whole part out, Ben, when we put this out, because nobody wants their wives to know there's really a thing about, hey, if you don't watch football, you guys play better. So edit that whole thing out. Sorry, Justin, we don't have to cut that, dude.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Matt. Thank you.
I actually have. I can argue that theory because there's plenty of times I don't watch and my team doesn't produce. So I don't know if necessarily there's truth to that. You had a big week, man. Lamar got you 38.8, Josh Downs 26.5, Anderson 22, and then you got this linebacker who's just like killing it. I can't pronounce his last name. Is it Olonkun?
Wait, keep
Olonkun?
trying. I love
Olakun?
when you use this as the cold open. Just keep trying. Keep trying.
Olakun? Is that what it is? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Luakon.
But
I
Olakon?
think it's the Luakon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luakon.
It was one of those weeks where it just came out with the bang. I don't know if I've ever seen this before, but every single one of my offensive players scored a touchdown, and one of my defensive players.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had
It was huge, man.
I had 3 people that scored a touchdown and also scored less than 8 points
It's a great stat.
with no turnovers. No turnovers.
How is it that is crazy? Kenneth Gainwell, he decided to rush for 16 yards and 1 touchdown, and
Damn right he did.
that's all the production. 7.6 points. Yeah, man.
Luakon might be the name in the NFL that's he's not a household name. He doesn't ever get talked about amongst the best linebackers in the league. But for us fantasy players that play in IDP leagues, he's been a top 3 linebacker like the last 3 years in a row. It's about time he starts finally getting. Maybe it's because people have a hard time pronouncing his name, but you never hear about him when you're listening to announcers talk about him and the best linebackers in the league.
That dude needs a nickname. He needs a nickname bad.
That was going to be my question to Justin off of this. Maybe he needs a nickname. Justin, what would it be?
I don't know. I do know that Alex tries to trade me for him at least once a week, and he basically mails me a box of peanuts, and he's like, if you take those peanuts, then can I have a Luakon? And he keeps
Alex is bribing people again, huh?
It's
we've heard about these Alex bribes lately. Yeah. Interesting.
Alex likes to send the buy low offers when they're coming off a 27-point game. It's a different strategy.
I would have no luck with this guy's name. I don't. His name's
Justin,
Foy. Is it Foye? Is it Foye? Foye? All right, Foye.
Justin, I wanted to ask you a question, and my question is not going to be about your high score this week. Although, congratulations! I'm actually really happy that you're here this week because I've been wanting to ask you this. I brought it up on last week's pod, so if you listen to it, you probably know what I'm going to ask you. I want to know what your thought process was when you sent the trade for Ezekiel Elliott. Would you have really been happy if that was the only trade that was accepted, or were you really crossing your fingers and hoping that somebody else was going to come through with a better offer?
I was definitely hoping for a better offer. I think that's what we do on all. But like this, I'm also not as low on Zeke as everybody else seems to be. From what I could tell, of all the other trade offers that I got, Zeke has scored the best. Out of all the dipshits that Nate tried to give me, out of all the people that Zeke was the best, except for Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson has outscored Zeke, but I think he was seriously on the way up, but it was also desperation mode. So if that's what I have to get, having somebody I could put in that spot is better than the nothing that I had. So like I was willing to fall back on it if I had to, but yeah, I knew with our new rule, if I send it out there, if everybody's pissed, they have to send me someone better. So I said I'll take it.
Nice warm blanket to sit under.
Yeah, and I would challenge you on the dipshits comment. I think some of the guys that I offered did score
Zeke
better
got a
than Zeke.
touchdown. Zeke got a touchdown.
Zeke got a touchdown. Yep.
Who?
Yeah, so did Jalen
you-
Warren. So did Josh Reynolds. I mean, the guys I
They
offered
scored more
scored
than
points.
20
more.
points.
It's all
Josh Reynolds had
perspective,
17.
gentlemen.
They scored more
It's
than
all
20
perspective.
points in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds.
Who?
He scored 17 points 2 weeks ago, and the other guy, Jalen Warren, he scored a touchdown this week too. I think he had like 11. So
Oh, but he was on his bye week. You did a 3x hammer and tried to trade me someone on a bye week. And you sent like 8 with Dante Ingram. Like the guy who's in a committee as the backup waiting for the starter to get there. He's like a committee while the starter's out.
Touch out. I don't think.
Sent me like 3 with
the second part of my question was going to be, if you don't mind disclosing it to us, can you tell us who you tried to get from Dre and Alex?
Tell us all your secrets. All your secrets. Come on.
I tried to get from Alex. I tried to get I know this Jacoby Myers, and from Dre I did who's not Derrick Henry. Who's the other guy? Whoever the other running back in.
Tajay Spears.
Yes, Tajay Spears.
Spears. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If Dre has Tajay Spears, that's
okay. So you were going for guys. I think Jacoby Myers is probably the one at the time that you made the offer was probably the one that had the most tradable value at that point. So I could see why Alex didn't smash accept on that. But Tajay Spears, Alex, I mean that's really shocking that Dre didn't take it.
He sent in the chat like interesting, and then he didn't even counter with it after the other trades went through. So I mean, he does have some keeper value, which might have something to do with it. But otherwise, I was seeing what I could get. I knew I was going to be getting rid of Jefferson as much as it sucked, but I got rid of all my other fantasy leagues. This is the only one besides Dynasty that I do. So like if I'm going to have any shot in here, I can't just have all my studs on IR for the entire season and then wait for them to come back when I'm 2-8, can't win anyway. So I knew he was going to be gone, and the way our trade is set up now, I didn't realize it when we did it, but it's kind of a way to filter out the best offers. And I really thought if I sent something to Alex, who's already got a stud team, like the idea of him starting Diggs, Tyreek, and Justin Jefferson in 1 week would scare everybody into sending me something way better and probably overpay for him. So I probably should have sent something even worse to Alex just to filter out even better deals from everybody else. But I was also trying to do deals that I thought I would be okay with.
Well, I was okay with you using me as bait. I thought it was fun. The weekend started off great, and I knew I wasn't going to get him, but it was still a fun time. So I appreciate you including me. And this week, Justin, you moving on, you're facing your big bro head to head. This is it a big thing, you guys? Is it a big shit talking thing between you two? Me and my brother, we used to talk a lot more smack to each other. It seems over the last couple of years we've kind of toned it down. We don't talk as much smack as we used to.
I guess I'll reach out on Instagram next time. Sorry.
Yeah. But you and your brother, do you guys do a bit of shit talking before games?
Not really. And there's never really been much. Like either he has a good team and he just pounds me every year, or I have a good team and he just pounds me every year. So it doesn't. There's never been there's never been much of a rivalry for us to talk shit. It's like, oh, looks like
That's
you're gonna
not true.
grab
That's not
another
true, Justin. I'm looking at your guys' records against each other. You're 17-6. He's got one win over you, and you guys have a pretty back and forth record against each other. And you're favored this week, 119 to 115, and he's 1-6 this year. You're 3-4. I think this is your year, Justin. This is your year to tie up the series against your brother. 17-17. Let's get there.
Oh, 17-16. I thought you said 17-6. Oh, 17. Okay.
No,
That's what it sounded like, yeah.
16. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, he's got you by one game in the series against each other, 17-16. So
Maybe
you
it
can
just
come
feels
back
that way.
even.
I probably get all my wins at the end of the season when I'm already out of the playoffs, so I don't think about them as much. Like the ones where it's usually my time to shine. Once I'm out of it, my team is pretty solid. Yeah, weeks like this week,
All
I
right.
have no business being here. It was insane. This Josh Downs kid, he might be pretty good, and I got some keeper value with him, so I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's legit. I got him in the Dynasty League. I'm very excited about him.
He's been fun. Minshew. I'm glad I got Minshew for the rest of the year. Him and Josh Downs are like. I saw Michael Pittman was talking about how he's not getting involved enough. Michael Pittman, he's like, oh, they only give it to me twice. What am I supposed to do? And I'm like, why don't you shut the fuck up, buddy, and just let them throw the ball where they're going to throw it to my guy Downs.
All right, man. Well, Justin, thank you so much for being here, brother. We appreciate you. Congratulations on your high score this week, and good luck against your brother, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
All right, Justin.
See you.
All right, guys. Here we are with our low.
What was that?
What the hell was that?
He's trying to create a cold open for us.
This is our low score of the week segment. Ryan Boudreaux.
Ryan Boudreaux?
You're messing me up. Ryan
Nice.
Metcalf. What's up, buddy? How are you, sir? How you doing?
Team Boudreaux, baby.
Dude, Ryan, where are you right now? Are you out in the woods?
I'm at my house.
Okay.
Which is also the woods.
Yeah, there's the house.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Nice.
Figure out how
Well,
to put
Ryan,
that
you
barn together.
you got to put the arm together. Is that what you said?
The barn.
Oh, the barn together. Got it.
A glorified shed, yeah. So
All right.
this weekend.
Should we
All
start
right. Let's get into this thing, man. You had a low score of 100.8. You cracked 100 barely. You made it.
Got it.
You don't have to pull your pants down for next week's game.
That's gonna help with the power.
And walk around. Yeah. Low performers of the week, Ryan. Gabe Davis, 1.6. Christian Watson,
Just say
5.7.
all your wide receivers. Yeah, all your wide receivers.
Everybody. Deshaun Watson, 2.8.
No.
He didn't really
Negative
play.
2.8.
Oh, sorry, negative
Yeah.
2.8.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
He didn't really play. He threw like one throw left.
He threw 5 passes.
5?
2 of them were interceptions. 1 got called back, but 5 passes, 2 interceptions.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Well,
Matt.
I mean, there must be a massage therapist in that blue tent because he seems to want to go in there a lot.
Very well done. Very well done.
Ryan, are you ready to quit Gabe Davis yet, man? Are you ready to quit him yet? That's my question for you this week.
No, not yet. I think Nathan made a great point on the last podcast. I do have, looking back at it now, like all my wide receivers are boom or bust, and they all just busted together on the same week this week. Like Gabe Davis went 4 straight games with a touchdown. You know, fucking what's his name? Devonta Smith has been pretty good. You guys talked about him last week, and they all
Ghost.
crap the bed together. But I don't think I can. I mean, I might be able to move him in and out on, some weeks, but I got running back heavy, and then I'm just going to have to hope that my wide receivers don't bust again altogether. But I've been getting some boom out of them.
So, Ryan, my question for you is Nate has that sales tactic where he is now convincing you that you are really good at guessing boom bust receivers and which week they can do it because you have this special skill that he's now told you about.
Mhm.
Do you think he's going to use it as a sales technique to get to trade you somebody that is a boom bust thing? Was that your original idea? You're good at it, or his idea? You're good at it.
I think Nathan just pays attention. I mean, he notices, polished skill when he sees it, and I've done it for years. You know,
And
he's
it
like
led to how
the
many
top
championships?
scoring wide receiver on my team.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have a skill of polishing. My question is around those those same lines. As you may remember, last year you and I made a pretty big trade, and despite what all the so-called experts in this league think, the trade actually benefited you. And because of the trade, you scored more points than you would have, and because of the trade, you won your division and went to the playoffs. And obviously, you're really good at trading with me. Now this year, uh, every single week, you and I are chatting back
he's
and
good
forth.
at this.
It's a
We've,
polished
we've got
skill.
all these machinations. We're really working out all these deals. We're sending each other trade calculators. We're really been involved all year, but it seems
All
like
year.
you've gotten cold feet every Saturday.
Mhm.
And here you are on the low score. So I don't know. Do the math.
I'm sitting pretty, Nate. I'm sitting pretty. I'm going to stay the course. I got my running backs are
Nice.
strong. I'm taking offers for quarterbacks for sure. I'm going to be a quarterback, waiver wire madman. I think I just picked up 5 or 6 of them, put in my bids for them. That's what I was doing when you guys called. I should have at least 6 quarterbacks on my bench after tonight. But I mean, other than that, I mean, if I play my 3 strong running backs, I only got to throw in a couple wide receivers and watch Kittle have some fun. And I found my defense. I'm not streaming defense anymore with T.J. Watt and Jared Allen and Pinnock. I'll stick with those guys for a while, and I'm sitting pretty. I had one bad week, but I was almost top of that division before this week. But I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep dangling guys in front of
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
You
hopefully
want
you
to get
send me a lopsided trade. I'll accept that, but it's going to take a lot for me to trade this year. I'm staying the course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll wait.
I
We'll wait a
like
few
that,
weeks
Ryan.
until you feel like you're really desperate, and then we'll talk some more. Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen though.
You missed out
Okay.
on 25 from Tyrod this week. Any chance of putting him in next week instead of running out Deshaun again?
Nah, he's trash. Deshaun Watson's trash. A lot of them that are
That's what I
trash.
said.
I'd rather stream some guys, yeah, but the 2 that are on my team now won't be there. I got 6 coming.
All right.
Nice.
All right, Ryan. Well, hey, man. Good luck next week. Who are you playing next week? Do you
Joe.
know? Joe.
Who'd you play last week?
Who'd you play last week? Yeah, he knows who we played last week. Joe this week.
Very well.
That's
Good game, Matt.
That could be a
Yeah,
good game for
buddy.
you. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for being here. We appreciate your time, dude. Any last words before we let you go?
Joe's team is more boom bust than mine. Take a look at it. I was lining it up. He's got either in and out, so it'll be an interesting week. Who gets to boom and who gets to bust coming up? But looking forward to it.
All right, Ryan. Thanks a lot for being here, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All
Hopefully
right.
not next week.
See you, Mountain Man.
Won't
All
happen.
right, Ryan.
All right, guys. Let's move it on to our rivalry statement, the rivalry of the week. We have a video to play for you guys right here. It will refresh your memory. Steve and Joe were the last rivals, and Steve won, and so he got to produce a statement for Joe to read, and we are going to show you that video right here.
It all began late one summer's eve, with the degenerates hand in hand and arm, locked into a deeply moving game of purple teddy bear and rainbow kitty cat poker. Then, in the blink of an eye, Barbie and Taylor Swift appeared to me in a glorious pink haze and whispered ever so softly in my ear with an angelic voice and sweet perfumed breath, "You drafted the best fantasy football team, better than any we've ever seen." Needless to say, my ball hairs stood at immediate attention. Hot flashes swept over me. A burning and joyful passion leapt out of my asshole. Tears welled, and I promptly lost all my purple teddy bears and pink kitty cats. No matter, I thought, I have Swifty Barb at my side. So imagine my complete and utter dismay to find a barbaric, raging Nathan proclaiming from the steeples at the height of the Mount Degenerate that dear, sweet, sweet Steve had chosen me out of everyone there for his pleasure to be his one and only. Little did he know my secret. Week 6, Steve and I shoulder to sweaty shoulder, locked in a prancing race to the finish. In those last few heart-twisting moments, Swifty and Barb appeared again, this time with Ken and Kelsey. Then, like a Mack truck slamming into my face, flipped me off and drove into the sunset with their betrothed. Steve had done it. My balls were left to drown in their icy tomb. Joe Biden for president, 2024.
All right, guys, we're back, and that
Man.
was something.
That took all of the excitement out of the pod.
Yeah, that was
That
something.
just sucked.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I don't want to give Joe too hard of a time. I mean,
Nope.
I don't think he had much material to work with.
No.
What was that, like an ad libs? Like Steve filled out an ad lib for him or something? Or
Mad
Libs,
Libs. Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You couldn't find a better Mad
I don't know
Lib
what it
than that,
was.
or
I tried so hard to get Steve to go on to something else. I gave him so many ideas. I know you guys talked to him also. We tried our best to get something better, but I don't blame Joe for it.
I give him points for trying to be current with the Barbie and the Taylor Swift stuff.
Is that current for a league like ours?
Well, it's current in current events that are currently happening. So, but
and then he had to slide in the Joe Biden 2024. I mean, we knew Steve making a statement for Joe. Of course, there was going to be something political in there, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that was hard to watch. I'm sorry, Joe. I mean, I know you didn't have great material, but I actually, I would have liked to have seen you, punch it up a little bit more, get a little personality in it.
Very deadpan, very deadpan.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? What do we do? What do we do with this bit? Do we like it?
Guys, okay, we've talked about this already off air. I'll go with you guys. Let's give it one more week. Let's see if people can do better. Because, dude, we can't keep putting shit like that out on the pod.
Our audience is going to start complaining. Our massive audience is going to start complaining.
We're going to lose subscribers. Well, listen, Justin beat Josh last week in their rivalry game. So Justin gets to write a statement for Josh. And I have faith, guys. I mean, to kind of give a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. Before we started recording today, Matt wants to cut this segment completely. I said, let's keep on going with it the rest of the season. So I would ask the rest of you guys, as you're watching this podcast, tell us what you think. Put it in the comments here on YouTube or tell us through the text thread. Let us know what you think. Should we keep doing this bit? I'm hoping that Justin will write a great script for Josh, and they will completely redeem ourselves and change Matt's mind, and that moving forward, these are going to be good. We can't judge it off of one bad submission. So please, Justin, Josh, come through for us, guys. Let's see. And Alex and Adam still owe us a video too.
Yeah, that I'm really hoping that at some point Alex and Adam will get that together, because I think theirs will be really funny if they do it. All right, guys. We'll see how it goes. You got your marching orders. Just get it to us and make it funny. It's that easy, guys. It should, you guys are all funny guys. That's the thing. Let's just try a little harder. That's all I'm asking. Try.
We do have another rivalry game this week. Jeff and Dre. So that's something else we can look forward to, is possibly a video from those guys. And then the two that I'm looking forward to the most, which I honestly think if we do keep this bit, could turn out being the best videos, just because there's so many layers to peel here, so many different angles that can be taken here with these guys. Bobby and Sean, rivalry game in week 10. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that especially if Sean beats Bobby, I know he's got a few things up his sleeve. And then the final one, me and Ryan. So that one better be a banger. That last one to end the season with,
That needs to be a banger. That needs to be a
Yep.
banger. All right. Well, you guys, like I said, that was our rivalry week statements. All right, let's move it on to our next segment, guys. This is a fun segment we like to do. It probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did, guys. And this week's game, Thursday night, Tampa Bay at Buffalo. And I think I'll just start it off here real quick. It probably won't happen. It'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. We're gonna go with my man Dalton Kincaid, tight end, newly starting tight end for the Buffalo Bills. I'm saying so he hasn't done it yet this year. I'm going to go 2 touchdowns and 100 yards for him. That would be a big game for him since he hasn't been over 100 yards or any touchdowns this season yet. So it probably won't happen. It'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. 2 touchdowns, 100 yards for Dalton Kincaid. That's mine. Where you
Yeah,
guys
Ben,
at?
I like that you are now on board with Kincaid, just like you're on board with Sam Howell. I have them both in Dynasty. You're a little late to the party. You're getting on him in redraft, but it's all good, brother. I'm glad you're with me. All right. So my bet, it probably won't happen, but it'll be pretty fucking cool if it did, is going to be Mike Evans, 3 touchdowns, 200 yards. Book it.
Yeah, he just had a good game last week, so he's trending up. Yeah, Nathan, what do you got for us?
Mike Evans has been having a pretty good season. I kind of wish that I would have drafted him. He's looked good when he's been healthy.
Me too.
Yeah.
My probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. Is that a receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to take off his jersey and leave the game midway through the game?
All right, Antonio. Nice.
Did that already happen?
Yeah, it already happened.
Okay.
That would be awesome if it was like to get somebody to just like throw it back. He says, "I'm throwing it back."
That'd be great.
Well, I was hoping to predict something about like a snow game, but I just checked the weather. There's no snow projected for Buffalo. I guess it's not cold enough yet. So that's my projection. Something like that's going to happen. Something wild that's going to go viral is going to happen.
All right.
There you go. Well, that was it probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did, guys. So stick around for those. There's always something fun to look for during those Thursday night games. All right, well, we're gonna move it on to our new segment, Bobby's Camo Worms. And
Yep.
Guys, are you ready for this?
Gold.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The musical stylings of one Robert, I think it's James Hab. I think I said that correct.
James Hab the third.
Yeah, the third. Sorry. And here it is for you. Enjoy.
To mop all of us with the floor. The jam disappears, that thing I heard. Oh, we're already jacked up, couldn't all let go to trade that hurt him. We are degenerates, we are degenerates, we are degenerates, we are degenerates. Injuries have hit like they always do. With Douglas, McKinley, and Jefferson too. Trading boogie, sitting looking down, no EJs. The rest of us just scrambling to trade our frowns away. Receiver, go snipe me, bro. We are degenerates, we are degenerates. Hey, let's make a deal. This is a great deal for you. We are degenerates, we are degenerates.
Oh wow, brother, you got your accordion you were looking for.
Hell yeah, good job, Bob.
I love the little backing tracks at the end. Don't snag my guy. Don't snag.
Yeah, that song was very Bobby-esque. I really enjoyed it. I loved how he incorporated all the instruments. I mean, he came through. We asked him to record a mid-season recap, and according to Bobby, the only things relevant that have happened this season is the rookies came to the draft and kicked our ass.
Yeah.
All my players got injured, and Alex won't stop whining about last year's trade. That's all. That's the whole midseason recap, guys. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all that matters. I talked to Bobby earlier today, and I was just like, first thing I said to him was like, "It's not what I expected." I told you, I kind of expected something a little simpler, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Really, Ben? You thought I would go simpler?" I was like, "I guess that makes sense."
Very valid point.
Well, I feel like we need to take this opportunity to apologize to Megan for stealing your husband. We do know what type of time commitment this has taken from Bobby, and as much fun as he may be having with it, we do understand the strain on your family as a result of that. So we apologize, and we'll try and give him some maybe easier assignments moving forward, so it doesn't take up so much of his time. With that being said, Ben, do you have any ideas for this week's assignment?
Well, I was, I love the music thing, and we could, I'd love to see him do. I told him actually earlier when I was talking to him, I said maybe at the end of the season you could do another like parody song of like the whole season, and that I look forward to that and give him some more time to work on it. But I think something, some sort of prepared poem or something. I don't know. I didn't really take a lot of time thinking about this. Poem or haiku maybe, or I mean, I just said you don't want
I thought you wanted to hear the acoustic version of that same song.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
him
right. That's right. I forgot we
You
talked
wanted
about that.
Singer-songwriter version. Yeah.
I did want that. I did say that. I did want to do just more of a simple version of it. That's right.
Maybe if we ask for that, it'll be ukulele. He loves that.
I was just about to say, maybe you strip it all the way down to the uke, and it's just him and the uke. Yeah. And maybe we can get Megan to sing some backups, because I'd like to hear those back. I'd love to hear those backups a little more, because it was hard. His mixing. Apparently, the video he sent us to wasn't the final mix. So I'm assuming the video that we're playing on the pod that you guys are going to see. I know I'm pulling back the onion, whatever, but that'll have a better. The onion. That'll have a better. Isn't that the phrase? Pulling back the onion.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. Pulling back the curtain or peeling the onion?
Back the curtain. Peeling the onion. Whatever, dude.
Here's the onion. Pulling it back. We're pulling the foreskin back.
Pulling back the foreskin. There you go.
No, but yeah, I think that's a great idea. An acoustic version of this song with Megan doing backing vocals, and maybe like a little harmony there with the same songs. You don't have to write a new song. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. We are degenerates.
I like that.
It's so catchy. It's catchy. Don't take my guy, or what? Don't snack my guy. I forget what he says, but it's so funny. All right, Bobby. Thanks a lot, man. That was what?
I was gonna say I can't wait to give him the techno version next week to do.
Wait for the build. Wait for the build. Wait for the drop. That's so funny. All right, Bobby's Can of Worms in the books. All right.
What's up, degenerates? It's your boy StevBot 2000 with another early DFS look for Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. We're going to go in a different direction this week with one of my favorite pick'em sites, Prize Picks, where we're going to ask, is it more or is it less? Starting out with Lamar, Tito, and Jermaine Jackson, more than 228.5 passing yards. Lamar looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now and gets an amazing matchup against the Cardinals. We're going to pair him with Mark Andrews at more than 58.5 receiving yards. The condensed Baltimore passing offense has allowed Andrews to clear this number in 4 straight games. Then we're gonna fleece him for some yards. Hall, more than 67.5 rushing yards. I think Hall should command even more work against the Giants this week, who are allowing 5 yards per carry this season. Then we're going to come to Mike Evans, more than 57.5 receiving yards, coming in at minus 132 on Pinnacle, and has a Roto-Grinders projection of 72.15 yards. That works for me. Moving right along to Kyle Pitts, more than 33.5 receiving yards. He's hit the over on this in the last 4 games. But the stat that I find the most interesting, in weeks 1 through 6, Pitts lined up at wideout on 25% of his snaps. In week 7, Pitts lined up at wideout on 60. I said it. 60% of his snaps, playing much more of a wide receiver role than a tight end, which is what we've been hoping for this man since he came into the league. Okay, so guys, I love this as a solid, insured 5-pick to win 10x. Or if you're feeling super sexy Steve Dave feisty, you can add Gabe Davis to the mix for a hot 25x with more than 40.5 receiving yards. Pinnacle has this at minus 124, and RotoGrinders has an interesting projection on him of 53.44 yards, and does make for a nice little correlation play with our boy Mike Evans in the same game, which could be a crazy shootout tomorrow night in Buffalo. One thing I'll say about this, you don't have to put together the 5-pick or the 6-pick and pray they all hit, right? What I love doing with these is round robbing them, all of them, into 2 and 3 picks, as well as the monster 5 and 6 pick to maximize the potential payouts, all right? That's all for me this week, Degenerates. If you feel like tailing this lineup, hit me up in the chats and I'll send out my links, which will get you a 100% deposit bonus up to $100, making you a holla. Peace!
All right, guys. Well, hey, we got one last segment of this podcast, and it's not called the lightning round. It's called the thunder round.
A little bit slower than lightning.
It's a little bit slower than lightning, but it comes with a big old boom.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, last week's results are in. Thank you, Nathan, for doing all the tallying. We appreciate you. We got Matt, who picked up a win this week on Nathan and me. 55.36 total points. Nathan and mine were very, very close. Nathan 53.54, and I just nudged him out at 53.86, which really means nothing because neither of us got a win. Matt got the win for the week, and so now it's Matt 1, Nathan 1, me 0. And this week we're gonna go with our picks for you guys are starting to learn this bit. We're gonna do a little mini draft. Top quarterback, running back, wide receiver. And we're going to go first in order. Matt, you got quarterbacks first this week. Who do you got? Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Chalk. Let's go Patrick.
All right. Nathan. Oh, yeah, that means me. I'm going to go this week. I think, damn it. I'm going to go Herbert.
Not Thunder. Or
I'm gonna go Herbert. I'm gonna go Herbert this week against Chicago. I think that's a smart pick. Yeah, Nathan, who you got?
Yeah, I was gonna go Herbert too because I wanted that stack with Keenan, but I'm gonna pivot and I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson against Arizona.
Yeah, good play.
I can see that. I can see that. All right, running backs. I'm up first. I think I'm gonna go this week with. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey this week. I think he's gonna have another big week. I think he's playing Cincinnati, like we talked about, and I'm going to kick Christian McCaffrey.
All right, then I'm not going to go very far down the list, but I'm going to take Tony.
It's actually Nate's turn to go running back here.
My bad.
Nate.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, thank you, Matt. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to take Austin Eckler.
All right, Matt, here you go.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah,
that's where I was going anyways.
Okay.
Eckler looked gimpy last week. I'm worried about that ankle still.
I don't think he looked gimpy. I just don't. Yeah.
He got up gimpy, then he left the game at one point.
Okay.
That's when I called you. You said, "Are you watching the game?" Or texted you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see that injury, so I didn't know. Sorry. All right, let's go wide receiver, tight end, either one. Nathan, who you got?
Yeah, I was tempted to go with my stack and go with Flowers, but I think Buffalo needs the win, and I think if they're going to get that win at home, they're going to need to rely on their man, Stephon Diggs.
Smart pick. Okay. Matt, who are you taking?
I'm going to have to do it again. I'm going to take the stack. I'm taking Kelsey.
Oh, that's a smart pickup. Although, yeah, I think it's a smart pickup.
Holmes Kelsey at Denver.
He had a big game last week. I'll go with the stack as well. I'll go Keenan Allen. Let's go. Yep. Keenan Allen.
Okay, so let's go through our lineups.
All right, quarterbacks. I have Herbert. I have running back. I have CMC, and wide receiver. I have Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I have Patrick Mahomes, stacking him with Kelsey, and running back is Pollard.
And my quarterback is Lamar Jackson. I have Eckler and Stephon Diggs.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see how this. I really need a win here, guys. I can't go down even farther. I can't go back, so I need to take this one. All right, guys. Well, that was it for this week. Let's say week 8 is going to be a good week for us, guys. That's all. All 3 of us are going to get wins. That's I'm rooting for us all. I hope you guys all do well out there, except for the guy I'm playing against. That was it for week 8, guys. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts for this weekend?
Nate, you got it ready?
I got a final thought ready. I have a losing streak currently under my belt at the moment. I have lost 4 games in a row to one of the worst teams in our fantasy league consistently. Josh is one of the worst teams, but I cannot beat him. And if I don't win this week, that'll be 5 in a row. I got to turn that trend around. I got to beat Josh this week and get back to 500.
Nice. Yeah. So I am this week. I'm playing Bobby, stacking bolts. He's at 2 and 5. I'm at 5 and 2. Our scores are, projections are pretty close, but it's always fun to beat Bobby. It's always a little bit more fun to beat Bobby. So big week for me. Nate, when I said, "Are you ready?" what I was referring to is I thought you were going to do your money line here at the end of the game.
Oh, that's right.
I was getting ready to throw it to you for that.
Yeah, no, I actually did not prepare one. I'm actually looking at it right now. I did not prepare one before the podcast, but I can look real quick and try and give you guys one. As you know, mine did not hit last week, so
yeah.
I don't know if you guys want my money line smash this week.
While you're looking at it this week, but I want to hear
it. While you look that up real quick, Nate, I'm playing Steve this week, and I'm looking like a win. Although his team looks pretty good. Oh, I thought we didn't talk about earlier it was crazy seeing Mecole Hardman back with the Chiefs this week.
Mecole Hardman,
seeing what he was doing for that, man.
Did we really see him though?
Well, you missed
him.
He
catch the ball twice.
Yeah.
No, but he had a punt return that looked really good. I'm just saying it'll be interesting to see what he does coming back, because last year he was big for them at points. So I'm interested to see what he does. Anyways, that was my little. Right, I don't know why I thought. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Ben.
I was trying to fill with Mecole Hardman. I don't know.
that good old Mecole Hardman filler.
Yeah.
That's the content that everybody's searching for right here.
I was trying to fill
this podcast.
What do you want from me?
So a couple of things that I always look for when I pick a money line underdog is I look for somebody that's playing at home. I look for somebody that's on a little bit of a winning streak. They got some momentum. And I look for teams that have good coaches. And this team meets the bill. That's the Steelers. They're playing at home against the Jags. The Jags are favored by 2.5. Smash that Steelers money line.
I might take that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
If you take the money line, you get plus 125. So
nice. Okay.
Ain't bad. All right, guys. Well, that was it for this week's Ordinary Fantasy Pod. That's a wrap, baby. See you next week.
See ya.